Morning, guys. Welcome back. Doing another video with old Buckster. Hope you guys are having a great day. Again, thanks to my new subscribers again. I woke up this morning, had a couple more. I couldn't believe that, so thanks a lot. I love you guys for that. And today is Sunday. It is Strongman Training Day. So at 1:30, I believe we start at Mark Hoover's today. So yeah, there'll be some videos up later of that. But today's video this morning is a little different. We don't have a workout video for you guys this morning. Instead, I wrote some things down because you guys have had some questions, which I'm grateful for. Thank you. And I'll always try and answer your questions, like personally, like right back to you and stuff on YouTube. But this gives me a chance when I get a bunch of questions to just answer your questions on video. It's the easiest way for me to do that. So, like I say, once again, hope everybody's having a great Sunday. Weather's nice, beautiful day. I'm looking forward to moving on with her. Right after this, we're gonna get into some breakfast material. So, number one, we got 10 questions here. So the number one question that I'm being asked all the time, including about 20 seconds ago, literally, just as I was about to grab my phone to make this video, there was another comment came up. A fellow saying he wanted to see me fight someday. That is the number one question. Have I ever been a cage fighter, a boxer, MMA style, any of that? Cage fighting, no. Boxing, no. However, boxing is one of those things everybody's always asked me. A lot of people have come up and asked me in my life if I'm a boxer. I don't know why. So let's get back to the cage fighting thing. I would love to tell you guys that out here in the woods, we got an octagon. If you're man enough to step into it, we'll be carrying you out of it. Okay? I'd love to tell you that, but it'd be a lie. It's not true. We don't have that. And I probably wouldn't be doing it. I'm kind of a little bit too old for that, if you know what I mean. To be 50 years old is not really a good time to start an MMA career. However, years ago I did get bitten by the bug just a little too. You know, the UFC got big, and I was living in a different city at a different time with a different girlfriend. So I decided to jump into that MMA stuff just a little, and I started by I went and joined a jiu-jitsu class. It only lasted a few months. I wasn't there long, unfortunately. My relationship ended and I had to move out of that city, just came back home, right? You know what I mean, to my own city. So, and we don't have that here where I am. We don't have anything like that. I've been told recently now there may be another jiu-jitsu class here for adults, but now I'm just way too busy in life for that. When I did do it, I really enjoyed the grappling. Like, we would do that twice a week. We did our class, and so at the end of the class, you know, you go through your warm-ups, your workout, you go through your learning stuff, and then we would spar. So you're actually down on the ground grappling with people, and I was good. I was so strong. I would just use my power, and I didn't even know what people were going to be trying because I didn't know anything, but I just wouldn't let them do anything. You know, I was able to beat guys that have been training for a long time. I beat cops and stuff. I did lose one. I'll never forget that, actually. I haven't told that story to too many people, but there was one guy one time. He was a young guy, and he wasn't a country boy like me. He was a city boy, but man, was he tough. He kicked my ass. I could not get away from this guy. I couldn't do anything with him. He was a little stronger than I was. I wound up giving him my back, which is something you never do. It was my only way out of it. And I was prepared for him to take my neck. I was ready for that too. And the guy was a gentleman. He never did. He didn't grab my neck. He didn't go for my neck, right? So, and I seen like everybody in that class, was a lot of people, especially if you're new, it's something that you just kind of were out of respect. You weren't doing that. But that guy did tell me I was one of the toughest guys he ever had to fight, especially for an older guy, you know what I mean? Because at that time, I was still in my 40s, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I enjoyed it for a while. I was good at it. Nowadays, right now, I can't see me ever getting back into any kind of fighting because I've got too much on the go. I do my strongman thing, I do my weight training, and I'll never stop arm wrestling. That's my thing. You want to fight me, you come fight me on the arm wrestling table. You know what I mean? There you'll see me fight a little bit. Unfortunately, that's not the kind of fighting the MMA cage fighting stuff is what people want to see. But no, that was just never too big. I went, just through that one little period in life, and yeah, I'm not the most aggressive person. I'm not the most violent person. It doesn't fit me that way. The fighting that way. I enjoyed the jiu-jitsu. I enjoyed that kind of the same reason as arm wrestling, where it's just a lot of power, right? A lot of it. There's your moves and then your striking game and all that. But the basic jiu-jitsu, the wrestling kind of thing, that I liked. So let's move on to number 2. It's a good thing I wrote these down. Street fight. Who wins in a street fight? Me or Godzilla? Well, probably Godzilla. No. That question wasn't asked about Godzilla. It was just kind of like how I would do. How do I think I would do in a street fight? That was the question. So obviously, if it was against Godzilla, I'd probably lose. However, if I was in a street fight with a normal person, I'd say my chances are pretty bad and I'd probably still lose because, like I said, not really a fighting kind of guy. I guess almost everybody might have to at some point. If you had no choice but to defend yourself or someone else, then you would be in a street fight, maybe, right? As for me, I don't go looking for trouble. I don't go looking for fights. I wouldn't want to be in a street fight. Probably do okay, honestly. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. I work hard. That's where my power comes from. You know what I mean? The weights, now I'm going steady on the weights and I'm going to get bigger and bigger and stronger. But all my life, my powers just come from being a hard-working man. So that's going to be a hard guy to fight anyway, any real hard-working man. But in a fight, you can lose a fight in seconds to a guy that's a lot weaker than you. It just doesn't matter. Luck can be on somebody else's side if they hit you the right way first, right? Or like just a more aggressive guy, this, that. But it's just not not my thing. I don't know how I really do in a street fight. I know the few times that I've been pissed off, twice in my life, I thought, okay, well, I'm probably going to get beat up, but I'm going to do this anyway. The first time, I thought for sure I was going to have a good fight on my hands. I walked over to this guy, and I called him something I won't say on video, but I said, hey, get off your ass. And as I said it, as I'm walking to him, he was sitting on a picnic table. He looked up at me, and he was kind of, he had this coming. Anyway, I grabbed him, I threw him, right? And as he's rolling and he comes out of his roll and he looks up, I'm right there and I'm ready to drop one in his face as hard as I could. Because even though I figured I was going to lose this fight, I'm like, well, this guy's never going to want to fight me again. Because right now I'm so pissed off, I'm going to fucking make sure he never comes back for round number 2. And when I went to hit him, what he did was he looked at me all shocked, like his eyes were, oh my God. And he went like this. And he rolled over and he put his face into the ground. And I stood there like, okay, now what do I do? You know, so I proceeded to tell him how the things were going to go from there on into the future, and I've never seen him again. I don't think he'll ever move back to this town. Second time, which kind of inspired me to start working out a little bit and stuff. A few years ago back, standing out front, there's a lady with her dog, and there's this guy, a big dude, psychotic, just going crazy on this chick. I step out onto the sidewalk, kind of do one of those manly stares at him, you know, and he finished yelling at her. He looked my way, he saw that, and he kind of tried to do the 1,000-yard stare back. Well, okay, I ain't moving. I don't care if you beat me up. You ain't gonna touch her, you're gonna fight me, and that's how this is gonna go. Okay, I don't go looking for fights, but if this is how my morning's gonna start, I'm kicking your ass, period. So I stared him down, and I'm thinking in my head, well, this guy's a lot bigger than me. This is not going to go good. He's probably going to kick the shit out of me. And as I'm thinking that, I'm thinking, fuck him anyways, and I'm staring him down, he turned around and walked away, and that's how that fight ended. Wasn't a fight at all. Let's see what's on number 3. So I don't know how I would do in a street fight, but that might give you something, right? My bench, this here bench that I'm sitting on, I have no idea originally where it came from. It's got a squat rack behind it, which I just put there. It's not with it. This bench is designed like an Olympic bench, but it's not. I don't even have Olympic plates. I just have the old standard plates. These big plates here are actually 50 pounders and not 45s. And then I've got 25s up there and some other stuff on there for my squat rack. But the bench itself, I bought it at a yard sale. So I really don't know where it came from. The seat, if I stand up and you can see the seat, yeah, you can too. Perfect. So this seat, the original seat actually rotted off because this bench had sat outside, exposed to the weather. So I got an LBL board, put it on there, painted it black, painted the bench black. She looks mint. But I love this bench. I'll probably never really have to move up, and I don't see myself getting to that level at my age where I'm going to need Olympic stuff and a bigger bench. This will do me fine probably the rest of my life. I do love this bench. I'm kind of attached to her. Number 4, wide stance. Have you always had such a wide stance? I believe that person's referring to my squat rack. When I'm turned around on this bench and I'm doing squats, I come to a seated squat. I sit down on my bench and pop back up. So normally I'm facing the other way. I come in, I grab this bar, I sit down, and I stand back up. Sit down, stand back up. So I'm gonna face you and show you something. So if you look at my stance right now, it's pretty wide, right? I got the bar, I sit down, and look at how wide my legs are. But I'm simply just straddling my bench. That's how wide my bench is. So my legs are touching my bench right there. If I come down, back up, there my legs are touched. So that's as far in as I can start because my legs are touching the bench. So it is what it is. I don't have room to put my squat rack anywhere where I can just use it by itself in here. Small apartment, working man, don't have the room. If I get rich someday, all I want in life is to buy a farmhouse with an old hip barn, take care of my wife, my animals, get more animals to take care of, and in that barn there will be a old school gym. That's if I get rich, and then we'll just keep making YouTube videos. Wide stance, that was number 4. So that's about it for that though. It's just a bench. I just have to straddle my bench to sit down, and that's how wide I have to stand. Number 5, too many people talking in the background. If you watch these videos here, me working out, it's just me talking, no one else. But that's not what they were referring to. This goes back, it's not a question, it was more of a statement, but I wanted to address that. This goes back to me being over at Mark Hoover's place where we're going this afternoon. You're going to hear people talking in the background when we're over there doing our strongman training. Know this. 1, we're at our buddy's house. We're having a good time. We're having a barbecue. We're going through our motions. We're doing our training. We're not doing this to become actual, some, but not everybody there is in this game to go pro, to turn professional, right? The guys that are will stand out. You'll see that. The guys that aren't like myself, that are just doing this, it's fun. It's what I do. It's what I like to do. I'm good at it for 200-pound, 50-year-old guy. So yeah, you're gonna hear people talking in the background because not everybody is there for the strongman. That's the thing that you're not gonna realize if you see those videos. If I make a video of myself at Mark doing something for 30 seconds, you hear a bunch of people talking behind my camera. Those people, most of those people, they're not there for the strongman. They're not even there really to watch a strongman. What those guys are doing is hanging out, waiting for the strongman to finish. They're there early, and they're all there to arm wrestle. So that's the main reason why you'll hear people talking. It's just because they're literally just waiting to start the arm wrestling, right? And the guys, like if I do a medley and mine's done, and I got 9 other people that are going to be doing that medley, after me, well, yeah, I'm going to be standing there talking to my buddies as I'm watching the next guy do his or girl, you know. So yeah, it's not like we're at a gym where it's real serious and we have professional trainers and we're trying to become, you know, number one in the world. We're not. We're a bunch of people having fun, and we are having a good time. We're in Dunnville, Ontario, Canada. Okay, Armed and Dangerous. Mark Hoover runs the club, Armed and Dangerous. That's an arm wrestling club, and we've now added the strongman stuff in with the Armed and Dangerous club. So like I said, Dunnville, Ontario, Canada. We're not that hard to find. If you're not that far from us and you think you want to join us, no worries. Let me show you something. There you go, guys. Right there. Armed and Dangerous. If you want to find us, we're around. So yeah, too many people talking in the background. That's a good thing. I can see people's point of view where it's like, well, what are you guys doing over there? Like, there's all these people talking, you're not even hardly training. Yeah, you're right. You are right. We're having a good time. We're doing our thing, and that's what we're doing. So, and then when we're not at Hoover's, some weekends we'll be doing it here, but a lot of times I kind of need that little rest break anyways, so I just keep hitting the weights. Where are we? Oh, my big tire, the new one. That was a question that I actually haven't gotten on YouTube yet, but I did get that question on Facebook. That question is going to probably be popping up on YouTube, so I'll address that now. My new tire is the fat one. She is a fat girl. I said when I bring her home, my guess was going to be 600 pounds. Today's your lucky day because we just weighed that last night and I've told no one what the weight was. So you asked how big, how much does my new tire weigh? It weighs, get this, exactly 600 pounds, just like I said it was going to weigh. How did I know? Because I took a lucky guess when I lifted it, and I was right on the money. Betsy, by the way, we weighed her too. My old tire, nobody's asked about that, but if you're wondering the weight of my old tire, and some of my buddies are, but YouTube hasn't asked, but if you guys are wondering the weight of Betsy, she's 280 pounds. I like her. She's a little easier to move around. She's one of those skinny girls. Now then, let's move on to number 7. Ooh, I like this one too. Circus Dumbbells. At Mark Hoover's, where we're going today, I have put up videos of me with circus dumbbells. Those are Mark's big giant ones. I was asked, how much do they weigh? And I was like, well, you know what? I really don't totally remember. So I actually texted Mark this morning, and he was good enough to text us back and let us know. He's got 2. The one in the video you guys have seen me using is actually his smaller one. The smaller one weighs 67 pounds. So you want to round that off, you can say 70 pounds. Okay, so 70 pounds for his small one. I have not done his big one yet. I don't want to say on camera that I've been a little bit afraid of it. I don't want to say that, but his big one is 93 pounds. I think I've got that baby all day long. I always do, and sometimes I'm wrong. However, I haven't done her yet. We'll see today. Okay, maybe we'll see if Buck can do that. I've been wanting to lately anyways, even just before that. Like, that's one of my things. So yeah, little guy that you have seen me do, 67 pounds. The big one that you haven't seen me do, that I might get around to today, 93 pounds. 93 pounds. Now that brings us to question number 8. Future plans. I remember that question. It was like, what are your future goals and your future plans? That's a very good question. I'm kind of glad that somebody asked that. I've been watching a lot of YouTube lately when it comes to the fitness world and the fitness influencers and bodybuilders and stuff. And it's like, wow, it's crazy. All the fighting and stuff and that, not everybody is. Obviously, there's a lot of good people out there just doing their thing. But like a lot of these top guys that are fighting, it's like guys, I don't know who they're reaching out to, who they're talking to, but I know the little guy like me at home that just wants to work out. I can't be bothered I just don't know what to say about all that fighting. I mean, I guess it's a professional level. These guys, especially the bodybuilders, they get up to that level. thank God for me, I'm not trying to become a bodybuilder. I'm not even trying to become a professional strongman, and this is a strongman channel. I've been arm wrestling for 5 years, and I'm not trying to go pro with that either. Just do what I do, and I like to stay in shape, and I love my arm wrestling. But the future plans for me with this, with these videos, with this work, and what you've seen me doing, right? Quite simply, right now, I'm trying to put on a little more muscle. I'm trying to bulk up, get a little bigger, a little stronger. And in the future, a couple of things. I just want to keep getting a little better. I want to keep getting some more fans on YouTube, some more subscribers. I love that. That will give me the drive to really keep going. The more people that follow me, the harder I'm going to go, kind of thing. I know myself. When I shouldn't be doing something, I will. But that's got me to where I am, right? So, but yeah, long-term goals right now in all this. Like I said, not trying to turn pro. So what am I trying to do? Well, we have a little strongman competition in our town every year. I've done it twice. Last year I won 3rd place. The year before I tied for 3rd place. The guy that took home the medal was a couple years older than me, so they gave that to him. So it's kind of like I took 4th, but I had tied for 3rd. This year I won 3rd, hands down. Both years I was not training for strongman. The last 2 years I had not been training. It wasn't until after we did the strongman this year that we started actually training for strongman. So with training for this next year, if it's same sort of turnout, the same crowd, guys, I'm coming for number 1. Okay, I don't want that 3rd place medal next year. That is my goal right now. I'm only looking to June. I'm not looking past that right now. I want to put on some muscle. I'm working on shaving the belly down just so I look a little better for you guys too. Honestly, you know, nobody wants to see that crap. So I'm going to get rid of some of that, but I don't have to be totally lean. I am still doing the strongman things. You know, you need that little keg, but she can be a little more solid and not so fatty, right? But yes, I'll be 51 years old this year. If some big dudes roll up, I may not be winning number 1, but that's what I'll be trying for this year. And if I don't get it this year, I'll be trying for it next year. So we're just going to keep doing what we're doing over here and hope and pray that we can just pull that off one day and have a 1st place medal. One of these days, I'm going to hang my medal up. I got to hang up my 3rd placer. I was shocked this year when that happened. I didn't even see that coming. I did not try and win a medal. Last year when I did it, I just did it to see if I could do it, just survive it. As a guy that I trained for arm wrestling, but I wasn't all that much on my weights, not like I am now. I would go in little spurts up and down on the weights. But, so I didn't train, I just jumped into it to see if I could do it the first time. Last year, like this year when I did it, I'll be honest with you, I thought about this before I made this video. I'll be completely and totally honest with you. For a whole year of my life, I got to walk around and tell people that I flipped the car last year all the way over by myself in the strongman. So we come to this year, I got 2 options. I can stay at home and be a pussy, or I can go flip that car again, and now I can tell people that I did it again. Because if I didn't do it again, how am I going to tell people I flipped the car last year? What'd you do this year? I stayed at home because I'm a little pussy, and that just didn't sit right with me. So yeah, now with the training, thanks to Mark Hoover and Jeff Bowman and the other boys that are involved in girls, next year it's the same guys showed up. Honestly, 1st place for Buck all day long, piece of cake. Honestly, it will be. For the 200-pound guys, heads up next year, because I'm coming. So yeah, stay in great shape for the rest of my life is a long-term goal. I'm not talking about doing marathon running or CrossFit. I'm talking about with weight. I want to stay strong. I don't want to do strongman competitions in my 80s and 90s. I'm not saying that if I even live that long, but I do, as long as I live, I want to stay strong. I want to stay fit. I want to become Arnold Schwarzenegger. I just want to look good and feel good and have friends on YouTube. That's important to me too. It actually is. Number 10 is a question that was never asked, but it will be. over and over again. As long as I'm doing YouTube videos on anything like this, like weightlifting, strongman, powerlifting, anything like this, the number one question that will be asked is if you're juicing, if you're using steroids, right? So I made a whole video on that already, explaining that for me at my age and for where I'm trying to go, I'm not trying to be a champion. I'm not trying to be a top guy. If I was, I'd be juicing, and I'd probably be living on the street by myself. My wife would probably leave me. I would get kicked out because I wouldn't have money for rent because I cannot afford steroids, no matter what. If you're on juice, you got a good income, or you're living for free. You got enough money to do that and train at a gym or something. Maybe I've seen things like that. But you know, and I don't have a problem with that. I'm not saying I do. I don't have any. I got all kinds of buddies that are on juice. I love those guys. They're fine. You know, that's fine by me. I don't personally, for what I'm doing, I don't need it. And if you think about it, if you're 50 years old, it's probably not the best idea to start juicing at 50. To start doing it, you know what I mean? Especially if you're not trying. If you're trying to become the best arm wrestler in your entire world, well, yeah, you're gonna want to be on it, right? And, you know, there's probably a few other things like that. But I'm just using arm wrestling for an example. Even for the strongman show, like if you're just doing a little show like I am, like think about it. If I start juicing and I go down here and I do the strongman show, yeah, I'm gonna win first place for the next 10 years. But if I'm not on juice, I actually gotta work for it. So you're gonna see me working for it. That's the only way to get it. Other than you can do the jab, or you can do the weights, one or the other. For me, I don't have the option. I just don't have the option. And I don't really like the whole idea of juice anyways. So like I said, nobody even asked that question yet, which is fine. It's great. So yeah, you know, just to add one thing onto the future goals and plans thing too. A lot of guys that are real big on YouTube, and that I just kind of want to do this. You know what I mean? I don't want to be out there arguing and fighting with people over whose lift is better and whose technique is better and yeah. I just want to lift weights. You know what I mean? And I'm grateful to the people that follow me along, and that's all you're gonna get out of me. I ain't gonna get political on you. I'm not gonna start fighting with fitness influencers who actually have things that I don't have and stuff. You know, and I'm not. We're talking about a regular dude here, old buck. I'm just a regular old working man that's 50 years old, turning 51. That's gonna keep working out, and hopefully some of you guys will be along for the ride and be my new friends. That's I'm always open to that, man. A lot of love to go around. But anyways, this has been a half-hour video. There's your question and answers. As we get questions, I'll answer them for you. You know, we'll get more. I'll answer them too. Right now, it is time for me to start getting ready for this afternoon. Feeling good. Took a couple days rest. And I'm going to power through some shit for you guys today. So hopefully I can get some good video. Hopefully my phone isn't blowing over today in the wind. But we can't control nature. So anyways, I love you guys. I'll see you later. Everybody have a great day, okay?